Let me show you cool cluster chords that you can use in your own music. Let's set a little mood first. I have one in my looper. So the cluster chords sound like this. Beautiful and moody. So I'm going to show you the theory behind it and show you how you can use that to compose and write your own music as well. So what's the first chord that I've played at the beginning? It's this one. This is what I call a super cluster chord because it has many notes in a row in the same scale. So now we are in B Dorian, the B Dorian mode. So the notes in B Dorian are B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. So the root, the second, the minor third, 4, 5, natural sixth, and minor second, and 1. Right? That's the difference between the regular minor scale and the Dorian, is that we have the natural sixth, right? So in my chord right here, I have the first 5 notes in the scale. I have B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. So that's a great cluster that I use to set the mood, right? But then what is a cluster? Essentially, it's to let go of all the rules that we know about constructing chords and doing something totally different. Usually, to make a chord, we superimpose third intervals. So we start with the root. So we are in B minor, so I'm going to do root. Then we add a third on top, so that's the minor third. B and D, and then we add another third on top, which makes the fifth compared to the B. Right, so 1, 3, 5, 1, flat 3, 5 in that case. But a cluster chord is to play a little crunch, to have some notes that are really close together, not separated by thirds like these, right? So to have a Dorian cluster, we're probably going to use the natural sixth, right? So I'm going to use the 1 and the natural sixth. And another note that sounds really Dorian is the second, right? So 1, 2, 6. So that gives us a chord that sounds really different than what we're used to. It sounds modal. That's why it's with a mode, right? So in order to map the entire fretboard with these kinds of chords, all we have to do is to map out the fretboard with a B Dorian and then move the chords by going to the next note in the Dorian scale, right? So each string moves to the next note. So the B goes to C sharp, the C sharp goes to D, and the G sharp goes to A, which gives us... Right, I love the dissonance inside it. And we need to do the same exact principle all over the fretboard to get the whole sequence. So I'm going to do that for you. The first chord is this. Until we come back to the same one, right? So we can use all of them to kind of play through that modal vamp in Dorian that sounds really smooth. Let's try that on top of the backing track. I love it, and we can repeat that principle in many different ways as long as we don't have notes that are too separated, like 1, 3, 5 or like 1, 4, 6, which would make you think about a chord inversion like it's a chord inversion. But as long as you get a little crunch of just one tone or a semitone between notes, it's going to be considered a cluster. So we could do something like 1, 5, and 6, right? So if I start on B once again, and then 5, which is going to be F sharp, and the 6th, that's going to give me a cluster like this. It sounds different. And we're going to do the same principle. The note moves to the next one in the Dorian scale. So that gives us... Ooh, I love this one. Beautiful. And once again, we can use that to comp or to create our mood with something that sounds super lush, right? So you can use that in your songs to create a great mood or create like arpeggio patterns or... Or even if you're more into soloing and improvising, I love to add these little cluster chords to just add a little clashing dissonance into my solos, right? So most people would approach that by playing the B minor pentatonic and adding the natural sixth within the shape, right? And improvise with that by adding a few cluster chords, right? Let me demonstrate that. You see, I try to incorporate them into my improvisation to add a little something, a little crunch. Ah, so satisfying. If you want more beautiful cluster chord ideas, go download my chord dictionary guide. It's free. It's the first link in the description box below. There is a section on super cluster chords that I also call my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chords. Chords that have all first 5 notes of the scale into them. They sound super lush, and it's gonna give you more ideas to implement what we've seen in this video, right? So it's free, completely free. It's my gift to you for watching my video until the end. So go download it. First link in the description box below. I'm gonna also put the link to my lesson on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chords, the super cluster chords, right here if you want more. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, au revoir, my friend.